Never in your lifetime would you dream of spending 9.5 years in a prison cell. Neither did Mr. A. But to him, 9.5 years in prison is a reality, and it is all because of fraud. Mr. A became a certified public accountant in 1997. He spent some time living in the United Arab Emirates prior to being employed as an accountant by a data analytics firm in Singapore. He worked for this company from April 1, 2012 to July 5, 2017, or a little over 5 years. About a year after his employment, he started embezzling funds from the company. In 4 years' time, he siphoned close to 4 million Singapore dollars. He pleaded guilty to 3 counts of criminal breach of trust as a clerk or servant, 5 counts of falsifying accounts, and 7 counts under the Corruption, Drug Trafficking, and Other Serious Crimes Act for removing the proceeds of his fraud from Singapore jurisdiction. A total of 267 similar charges were taken into consideration for sentencing. In 2019, he was sentenced to 9.5 years in prison. During the trial, it was learned that Mr. A occupied a position of trust in the company he was working for in Singapore. Among his responsibilities are bookkeeping, including handling balance sheets and profit and loss statements, as well as accounts receivable and accounts payable. He was also given access to the company's checkbooks for its bank accounts. In this capacity, he can singly issue checks of up to $10,000. Between April 23, 2013 to June 13, 2017, he issued 451 checks totaling 3.97 million Singapore dollars. This amount was sent to 3 bank accounts, 2 belonging to him and 1 belonging to a friend. He signed the checks and wrote cash as the payee. After the check was deposited, he used remittance agencies to transfer the money. It took him 835 remittances to transfer $3.57 million overseas to the Philippines and the United Arab Emirates. These remittances happened between May 1, 2013 to June 13, 2017. Mr. A successfully covered his tracks over the course of 4 years. For every check he signs, he first makes a photocopy with the payee left blank. In the photocopies he made, he wrote random employee names as the payee and made up fictitious transactions, such as payments for commissions and referral bonuses. Because the payments were made to individuals rather than businesses, it was very easy to create bogus supporting documents. In the original checks, however, the payee was cash. He kept these photocopied checks for audit purposes. Mr. A's lawyer argued that he should be given a lighter sentence because his actions were for altruistic reasons. Of the total amount embezzled, about $1.9 million was sent to help his relatives and friends, including to pay for medication for a friend's children. The amount also financed 20 scholars that he was sending to a university in the Philippines. Mr. A also bought slippers for barefoot children in the far-flung areas in his home country. Mr. A's lawyer also presented a psychiatric report that stated her client was clinically diagnosed with major depressive disorder in 2014. In addition, his lawyer claimed that Mr. A had gone through a traumatic breakup with his long-term partner. Mr. A's altruistic actions provided him a much-needed relief from his depression. It made him feel accepted and looked up to by the recipients of his generosity. According to Mr. A's lawyer, my client felt he performed heroic acts helping people through a crisis and rationalized that the company was profitable. He rationalized that other people needed the money more and derived self-worth from these acts, which he now accepts was misguided. The judge who heard the case sentenced Mr. A to imprisonment of 9.5 years. She found his actions to be well-planned and executed, indicating the intention to steal funds from his employer and cover it up. In the words of the judge, "We all have problems in our lives to deal with, but that doesn't give you an excuse to go around committing crimes. The point is that the money was not yours to give away to begin with.